Hello, we're in chapter 6 of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Chapter 6, what happened to Dr. Lanyon? Soon afterwards, we're going to read the text. You can read with me if you can. Soon afterwards, Mr. Guest went home. Mr. Utterson put the letter in the drawer of his desk and locked it. What does this mean, he thought. Why is Hyde's letter and Jekyll's invitation to dinner in the same handwriting? Is Jekyll's writing letters for a murderer? He was very frightened. The police offered thousands of pounds as a reward for Mr. Hyde's capture, but it was impossible to find him. Time passed, and gradually Mr. Utterson forgot his fear and stopped worrying. Without Hyde's evil influence, a new life began for Dr. Jekyll. He began inviting friends to his house again, gave lots of money to the poor, and became very religious. He was busy, and he often went out of the house. For 2 months, Dr. Jekyll was at peace. One evening, Mr. Utterson, Dr. Lanyon, and a few other people dined at Dr. Jekyll's house. It was a happy dinner for old friends. The following week, Mr. Utterson went to Dr. Jekyll's house 3 times, but Poole did not let him enter the house. "I'm sorry," said Poole. Each time, "Dr. Jekyll is very ill. He doesn't want any visitors today." Mr. Utterson was very worried that Dr. Jekyll wanted to be alone once again, so he went to visit Dr. Lanyon. But when he went to the house, he was shocked at the change of his friend's appearance. Dr. Lanyon was pale and thin and looked much older. He also seemed to be terrified of something. Mr. Utterson thought, "Lanyon's ill. He's a doctor. I know that he's dying, and he's frightened. My friend, you look ill," Mr. Utterson said finally. "I had a shock recently, and I won't get better. In a few weeks, I'll be dead," Lanyon said. Mr. Utterson looked at Lanyon sadly. "Jekyll is ill too," he said. Dr. Lanyon's face changed. "I don't want to hear anything about that man," he said in a trembling voice. "In my eyes, he is dead." Mr. Utterson sat in silence for a few minutes. Finally, he said, "Is there anything I can do, Lanyon? We are 3 very old friends, too old to find new friends." "There's nothing to do," answered Dr. Lanyon. "Ask Jekyll." "Jekyll doesn't want to see me," said Mr. Utterson. "I'm not surprised," said Dr. Lanyon. "One day, perhaps, after my death, you will understand. But I can't tell you now. Please talk to me about other things or go home." Mr. Utterson left a few minutes later. When he got home, he immediately wrote a letter to Dr. Jekyll. "Why won't you let me come and visit you?" he wrote. "And why aren't you and Lanyon friends?" The next day, Mr. Utterson got an answer from Dr. Jekyll. "I don't want visitors now. I must be alone. I'm not angry with Lanyon. We didn't argue. But he's right when he says that we must never meet. Don't be surprised, and don't think that you're not my friend because I won't let you come into my house. I'm a very bad person, and I'm suffering terribly. Please do what I ask." Wow. Mr. Utterson was surprised when he read the letter. What caused this change, Utterson thought. Hyde hasn't got any influence on Jekyll anymore. Only a week ago, I dined with Jekyll and everyone was so happy. The change in Lanyon and Jekyll is so sudden. Are they perhaps mad? No. Lanyon's manner and words pointed to something different, something more mysterious. What was it? 3 weeks later, Lanyon died. The night after Lanyon's funeral, Utterson, very sad, opened a letter from him. The date on the envelope was a few days before Lanyon's death. On the envelope were the words, "Private, for the hands of G.J. Utterson only." Mr. Utterson was frightened to read the letter and opened the envelope slowly. To his surprise, he found another closed envelope inside with the words, "Read the letter inside only after the death or disappearance of Dr. Henry Jekyll." Again, the words death or disappearance, just as in Jekyll's will. Utterson thought, surprised. Why did Lanyon write about Jekyll's disappearance? What does this mean? Suddenly, Utterson felt very curious and wanted to open the letter, despite its instructions, but finally decided not to. Professional honor, he thought. I can't do that. He put the letter into the drawer of his desk and locked it. Wow, so now he has 2 letters locked in his desk. Very good. So this is the reading. Sudden is something that happens quickly, unexpected. That's the new word. Despite, a pesar de, no? Despite is doing what you should do, but then you want to do something different. Despite, you have a barrier. You know you got to go one way, but then you want to go the other way. You're despite, no? A pesar de. Fear, miedo. I'm scared of something. I'm fear. I feel I'm in danger. Something could hurt me. Locked is closed with a key. Okay, if you close something with a key of some sort, today we use metal keys or digital keys, but locked would be closed with a key. Okay, and then I'll put the questions in classroom. Okay, and then do the form. Okay, you guys have a good day. We'll see you soon. Bye.